All right. Well, thanks guys for hopping on. We're gonna get started. So really a lot of this is gonna be about we can't tell you what to call or what to pitch in a certain count, right? Like there's so many different factors that go into it. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna start with a quick PowerPoint and then go into a couple of map pull-up video from a couple live at-bats from the winner, and we can kind of talk through just some of the different factors that you can consider when calling the next pitch or calling two pitches down the road.
Do we need to ask questions later?
You can, yeah, hop in, ask questions whenever you want.
I bet.
Yeah, we're looking for more of this as like a discussion and less of it as like us just talking. So definitely chime in, guys. All right, so I'm gonna share this. Okay. And how do I present this? Whatever. All right. Oh, here it is. Okay. So basically, genesis of this is what pitch should I throw next? So tried bucketing some of the different factors that have to go into any given pitch. Came up with game context, internal factors. This would be for the pitcher, and then external factors. So taking into consideration some of these things as well as how they're weighted into making a given decision. So some of the game context things are pretty basic. What inning are you in? What count, score, runners on, how many outs, pitch count, times through the order, that type of thing. Just understanding where you're at in the game can influence the call you're going to make. Next thing would be, this is for the pitcher. So how confident are you in a given pitch throughout that day or throughout that month or year or whatever it is? How's the execution been on that? Is this a high strike pitch? Are you a guy that throws his curveball for, 40% strikes or 60% strikes or 20% strikes? And if you can't throw, maybe it's your best pitch, but if you can't throw or has the best stuff, but if you can't throw it for strikes consistently, how does that factor in to when you'll call it and how you'll call it? So next thing we'll go over is like the pitch quality. So just how good is that given pitch? Thankfully, we have metrics between a radar gun and a Rapsodo to measure that. Other things are just like your mechanics on a given day. Are you feeling good? Are you feeling off? What changes do you have to make? And then like previous future pitch. So did you just throw two curveballs in a row? Are you thinking about tripling up? Are you going to go inside with a fastball? On the other end, are you throwing this pitch to set up the next pitch or a pitch down the road? External things, and this is just a very short list of a lot of different things that you could factor in here, but first, and something that I think is really important, is the batter. So is this the first time you've ever faced a guy? Or do you have a history? Do you know the hitter? Also, like, what's he done on previous pitches? So if it's the third pitch in the at bat, did he foul off? Was he right on a fastball in? Was he, way out in front of a changeup? Those types of things. Who's the catcher? So obviously the catchers that are on here, like I know you guys like take a lot of pride in calling a game and receiving and getting to know the pitchers. So Like, how well do you know the pitcher? How well do you know his stuff? How long have you guys been working together? Those are all really important factors. And then also, like, who's calling the game? I know some teams, the pitching coach or the head coach will call the game. That obviously factors in. And then with runners on, like, how's your receiving? How's your blocking? If it's a runner on third in a 1-run ball game, you know, does the pitcher trust the catcher and to block a curveball, and does the catcher trust himself to call it and block it? Big implications there. And then a couple more, just the umpire, right? Is the umpire giving you 3 balls off the plate? Is he not calling anything? As much as we like to say that you shouldn't let umpires control the game or control how you your performance, right? Umpires don't dictate the game, but they can dictate some of your decision-making processes in the actual game, and, you know, throughout an at-bat or throughout inning. And last thing would be weather. You know, is it raining? Is it freezing out? Is it 30 degrees and you can't grip the ball? So, you know, all you can throw is your fastball, or all you can throw is your curveball. And then, or if it's raining, can you not grip the ball? If it's really hot out, how does that, you know, how would that impact your pitches? And then what I think is like the most complex part of this all is how do those went over like 20 different individual factors, right? But how do they all interact with one another to shape those decisions of what pitch you're going to call next? And then not only how will they work with one pitch, but how do they change during a game, in a given inning, or even in at bat? And then how do you guys go about communicating this in between innings, or in between batters, or in between games? And how can you guys work together to help put together like the best game plan possible? So with that, I think there's a lot to unpack with all that. So I'm gonna stop sharing. I'll open it up to you guys. What are some takeaways there? What are some things that you guys factored in? What are some things that maybe we missed in going over that? And then what are some things that you guys focus on?
I just have a question on so pitch count. So it's like 0-2. If I say I throw him 2 fastballs right there.
Yeah.
Would you have me go, say, like 3 inches off like a foot off the plate? I'm not throwing a strike that pitch, right? Next pitch.
Why? Right? Like why? Like, you're not limited to throwing it. I mean, you could, right? You could throw a ball 6 inches off and try to get a chase, or try to get a favorable call from an umpire, but you don't necessarily have to. If you want to go back, right?
I should try to throw a ball for a strike then, or I don't know, to count.
I think you're looking to throw your best pitch there, not necessarily in one location. You're trying to throw your best pitch, and you're not you're not looking to throw it over the heart of the plate for a strike. You're looking to throw your best pitch in a location that you're trying to get a K. At that point.
I'll turn this over to the catchers, Jackson, Lombardi, Colton. What do you guys like to call in those situations? Do you like to have a guy, maybe not waste a pitch is probably the wrong term, but what do you guys like to do in that situation?
I mean, it depends on if he's early or late too. So say he like hooked a pitch, then I'm obviously going to go something soft, but I don't necessarily want to waste a pitch because every pitch matters. I don't want it to be down the middle, but like try like away curveball or something like soft. But if he's like early, then or if he's late, then I'm obviously going to keep pumping that fastball and just raising eye levels.
Okay.
I mean, if I'm giving him 3 straight fastballs, then like there's a higher it adds a higher chance of him being on time.
Yeah, no, it definitely could.
But then again, you're not gonna throw that fastball. Like if you're gonna change the spot, like the location, like you go in and then out, or you go out in, or low high, or something like that. You don't want to keep that pitch in the same place.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, for me, anytime like a guy gets in the box, like I don't know how hard it is to tell from the mound, but from behind the plate, you can tell guys never get in the box the same way. They always get in a different way. So whether they're up in the box, back in the box, in the middle, the perception of the ball and how fast it is in, out is going to be totally different depending on where they are in the box. Like these little inches, like affect reaction time so much. So for me, I call my pitches based on past at bats, but like also where they're standing in the box. And I can also get reactions because that like not as a high level, some of the batters let their emotions get to themselves and they start saying shit. They're like, oh, that was slow. Oh, that was a ball. So like in their head, like I already know what they're thinking. They legit said it out loud. So then I'll call a pitch based on their reaction or what they're doing.
Yeah, where they stay in the box is huge.
Why?
Because if the guy gets in the box and he's standing like a foot off the chalk, I'm obviously going to pound away because everything going in is like pretty much down the middle. But if I'm going away, he's not going to be able to touch it with a pole. So
Yeah, I do that a lot. Like anytime someone's like super off of the plate, I just sit on the outside corner and like I can get something in the lefty's batter's box. There's no chance he's gonna touch it if he's a righty. Like there's 0 chance he's gonna get any close to it.
do that.
You guys feel comfortable calling inside pitches though when they're super far in on the plate?
I do. That's on the pitcher. Like
Yeah.
in on the plate. I don't care if you get their knee. Like you be able to think that yourself.
Yeah, but still, like if you miss that pitch by like an inch, then it could be his favorite pitch.
I'll throw this one out there. How many high school hitters are good at pulling the ball hard in the air?
Most.
That middle, like
Most?
I would say most. That's most high school hitters. Their favorite pitch is inside.
Yeah, I mean, okay, that's interesting because I would think that I don't see a lot of guys that at the high school level, at least, I'd be afraid of to like challenge in, because
Yeah, I know. I get what you mean. Like if I was to throw a pitch inside, like if I hit their spots, most high school players can't pull their hands in fast enough. But I feel like if I miss that spot by an inch or two, then most high school hitters then get that inch or two, and that's one of their favorite spots.
I would just make sure you get it in. I mean, if you hit him, you hit him. Like,
Yeah.
cool. Like, just get it. Just make sure you get it in, though, because I think about it this way. Say you throw 90. A ball down the middle is 90. A ball inside is 94, 95. Like, the perception of everything just changes the location.
Catch it on an angle.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty much mental. Like if the pitchers are comfortable riding that.
Yeah, for sure, and that's going back to knowing your pitchers. So then, how do you guys prep pregame, pitchers and catchers? How do you guys what are some of those conversations that you'll have with guys before the game if you're relatively new to working with them? If you worked with a guy for a year or two, right, you don't need to have that conversation or it's really quick. But for like the newer guys, what do you talk about? What do you go over?
I talk after like the bullpen, because then I got to see everything they threw and what they threw well and what they didn't throw so well. I kind of talk to them about that, and then I'll also won't just sit middle every time I catch. Like I'll work corners back and forth, and there's a lot of guys that can't throw that outside pitch to a lefty, so into a righty, and they're always pounding inside to a lefty. So like that's something I notice a lot.
I mean, I always ask. Like, I'm always like, yeah, like, what are you feeling today and what you're not? Because the pitcher's going to know themselves better than I do. They're gonna know how their arm feels. They're gonna know if they can get a certain grip on a ball or not. So I always ask them like what you're personally comfortable with and what you need to throw in important situations. Cause like I'm a strong believer on like every pitch you have that you throw, you should be able to throw that pitch whenever you need to. If you're not comfortable throwing that pitch when it's a tie game, full count, and bases are loaded, if you're not comfortable, don't throw it. But there's days like you said with the weather, where if you can't grip a pitch or if I don't know, your fingers are slippery. Like there's so many like factors that go into it, where you just need to make sure you're comfortable and you have confidence behind everything you throw. Because if you throw and you're not confident about it, you're fucked. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
I think as a pitcher, with a new catcher, I have to remind him to really work in like off-speed pitches in weird counts. Like I have a lot of trust in my curveball to throw for strikes, and so I don't want it to be fastball first pitch. I don't want it to be fastball always 2-1. I don't want it to be fastball like 2-2, stuff like that. And like also with the 3-2 count, like I feel like that shouldn't be just like a straight fastball count. I think that should be something that keeps the hitter guessing.
Yeah. No, 100%. 100%. Star and Goldberg, I see you guys are on the call. Do you guys got any anything you want to chime in with that? Because I know you guys both throw, like Star, you throw that fork ball that's really nasty. Goldberg, you throw a lot of breaking balls and have a good feel for that. So that's definitely different than your typical high school arm. So you guys want to chime in?
Usually I first like speak with the catcher and say like I like throwing my off speed like first pitch because it kind of catches the batter off guard.
Yeah.
So that really like most catchers I feel like are almost scared to have first pitch off speed.
Yeah. Yeah. Except Stevie, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steve never goes all speed, just fastballs for me, at least.
I'm the exact opposite.
Yeah, it's dumb.
Why don't you tell them to call their pitches and fastballs?
What's that?
Why didn't Aiden just tell them to call their pitches and fastballs?
I did. I still
Yeah.
called fastballs.
All right, so let's go a step deeper than that with that. Like when you guys do disagree with whether it's pitchers disagreeing with catchers or catchers disagreeing with pitchers, whether it's something as simple as a shake off or it's just something that's ongoing. What do you do to resolve that? And then what factors play into like, you know, sometimes catchers like you put down a fastball and that's the pitch that should be thrown, right? And the pitcher and you guys just aren't on the same page, right? So like what are some steps that you guys take to try to resolve those?
I think it really depends on where you are in the game.
Yeah.
Like early in the game, I could be feeling my curveball that day and it feels really good, or my changeup feels really good that day, and the catcher doesn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it really just sees how you develop throughout the game, and like throughout the innings.
Like in between innings, it's big to talk to the catcher like after each inning when you're going to hit, like what you were feeling. Like it's like you're saying your changeup. Say my changeup was good between an inning. You want to like tell that to your catcher so they can call that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Are there any other factors that maybe we didn't go over that you guys were thinking of?
Just the quality of the mound.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Not all mounds are perfect turf or dirt.
I think maybe.
So how does that influence your pitching then, in terms of how the game you'll throw?
Like if there's better like dirt on the like where the rubber is, it's easier to get a better footing. And if it's like a little bit wet, my foot will slide out.
Okay.
I think maybe for older guys too, it's mental for how many scouts are there. like at Perfect Games or Diamond Nations, you'll usually see a lot of scouts, and that might get in some people's heads.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll see that. Guys throwing in front of the gun for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Or a bunch of scouts, and they're just, high fastball, high fastball, high fastball, high fastball. Can't get it down. Yeah. No, that's good. Trying to think of what else. Anyone have that where umpires where either the umpire or you find out kind of early in a game that if a pitcher like hits his spot, the ump will just give it to you, whether it's 6 inches or 2 or 3 baseballs off the plate.
Yeah,
And how is that like impacted?
For me, like I like to form a relationship with the umpire. So like I get really chatty with him in the first like 3-4 innings, and then I start to calm down. But once you get like really close with the umpire, like sometimes he'll just be like, "Yo, I'm not giving you that pitch, but I'll give you the pitch in the left-handed batter's box." Yeah, he'll be like, he'll get honest with you. Some guys won't. Some guys will be stubborn, and then that's when you have to learn. Okay, he just missed 4 calls, so he's most likely not going to call that. So you have to learn how to work around that. But most umpires, if they're nice about it, they'll be honest. They'll be like, "That was high. I'm not giving that to you. I'll give you the low pitch, but I can't give you the high pitch."
Yeah.
They're usually honest about it.
And they normally say that like between innings.
I'm sorry, what's that, Jackson? You cut out for a second, or I missed it.
Like in like what he was saying, between innings they'll normally tell you like, hey, I'm calling this pitch. Like even before games, like if you're talking to them, they'll be like, I'm gonna give you this pitch, but I'm not gonna give anything up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do that in high school games. Like I remember last year, my first year of high school, they didn't do this in middle school, but my coach, they would go like meet with the umpire and the other coach at home plate before every game, and then they would come back and the coach would be like, okay, this umpire just told us he's gonna have a tight zone or he's gonna have a big zone, and like my coach would be like, okay, yeah, he said he's not giving you a pitch, anything up. So now I know before my pitcher even there's one pitch, even in warmups, I know what he's gonna call.
Yeah.
Oh,
sure.
look who joined.
Oh, Gavin decided to show up.
Another factor could be where you're at, like first time going through the lineup, what pitches you're calling between like the first 5 guys and then the last guys.
You gotta be careful with that though, because like I know like in high school, they like to hide guys around. Like they'll put like guys in the bottom of the order, so they'll be like, okay, it's the 9 hitter. This dude can't hit, but then he's just like a double leadoff. Like you have to like at least see the guy at least once just to make sure.
Yeah.
So a question I had for you guys is if you haven't seen batters yet, new team that you've never played before, kid you've never seen before step in the box, what's your strategy with a kid that you have no information on?
I treat him the same way.
Yeah, like
exactly.
Me personally, I'm a big guy for like eye level. So usually if I have no idea who somebody is, and I haven't seen them in the batting cage, haven't seen anything, I'll usually have like a go-to eye level thing that has proven before to work, and then kind of build off of it. If it works, then I keep going with it. But usually with a team I don't know, I'm gonna go with the whole eye level thing, but kind of reading swings at the same time.
You can read on deck swings. Like on deck swings is a big thing too, because like I know some guys like don't take it seriously, but you can get certain things like just like reading guys' swings on deck, and everyone's gonna take on deck swings. So that's a chance for you to read it. The pitcher can read it, because like I've had times where I've gone out to meet with the pitcher right before the game starts, and the pitcher's like, I'm gonna throw first pitch curveball because I saw the dude on deck, and he's just like lunging at everything. Like I can just like let the pitcher know what he wants to throw.
Yeah, for sure. Our catcher, and you guys will see this as you get to like college and higher levels. My catcher in college, he used to watch BP of the other team. And he was really smart with calling a game and knowing how to position guys and everything. So he would know exactly how he was going to attack batters based on their BP. And now as you go, like if you're in higher levels of college, now you get more in-depth scouting reports and that type of thing, and pro ball, of course. But yeah, you could pick up a lot just from your, a BP or an on-deck swing. It's a good point.
Have you guys talked about setup at all? Sorry, I'm late. I couldn't figure it out.
Setup how?
In the box.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I know Jackson sets up, he used to set up pretty close to the line. Like, how would you attack someone who sets up really close to the line? Or, like, vice versa?
So if you're saying I'm close to the line and you have a fastball that you feel like you could blow by me, like you say, because you know me as a hitter, right? That you're trusting, you're feeling good, and you're feeling good in that fastball, and you're talking to your catcher about it. First thing I'm gonna go once I see like them get in the box, because that's what I look at first, their feet. I'm probably gonna go inside if they're right on that chalk. But say they're away from it, I'm obviously gonna go to the outside corner. You know what I mean?
All right. That's basically what I thought.
Yeah.
And on warm-up swings, Lombardi?
Yeah.
When you talk about warm-up swings, do you mean when a guy so we'll use Chase Utley, and then we'll use I'll use guy on the Astros. No, not the Astros. Red Sox, who does a thing where he does the pendulum swing.
Oh, JD.
Yeah. So with JD, I mean, obviously he'll probably just hit anything. Same with Chase, but a guy who's just staying high and chopping down with everything. I mean, we're obviously going to go low with him, and a guy who's up, we're going to try to work him up. A guy who's coming down.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Cause for me, I like to get certain feels on deck that I'm not going to recreate in a game. But
Yeah.
For me, I study a lot of hitting. So I know most of the guys feels. Now there's certain guys that just make up their own stuff that I've never seen before. And then that's when you find out in a game on their first swing. But certain guys, I know guys aren't going to swing in a game like a golf swing. I know certain guys, they'll get extra choppy just to feel a downward movement or whatever their mindset is on that. But I can usually tell if I can't, I treat every batter the same way. I mean, I know for you like to compete. So I just call it fastball. Just throw it as hard as you can, man. If they hit it 400 feet, they hit it 400 feet. It's over now. Now you just go back, and now you know what happened. It's one run. It's not that big of a deal. You just compete. You just go after it. And you learn as the game goes on. That's the whole thing is everything progresses, and you learn so much when the game gets into the later innings. It's basically you have your whole own scouting report on every guy.
Has anybody watched any of Trevor Bauer's YouTube videos?
The ones where he's mic'd up?
No, the ones where he's breaking down batters. It's the most ridiculous and most intense studies I've ever seen on how to get somebody out.
Yeah, there's some really good insight on those videos where he'll talk about each pitch, what he's trying to do, how he executed it, and how that sets up subsequent pitches. Yeah, if you guys are interested, definitely check that out. Any other things you guys wanted to cover, or any other thoughts regarding some of the things that we've said so far?
I got a question.
Yeah.
What should you throw when it's a 3-2 count?
What do you think?
Confident pitch.
I don't know.
That's fine.
You should probably throw a fastball because it's probably the pitcher's best pitch.
Because
all
his best
depends on
pitch is a curveball.
I think it's fastball because I feel like it's easy pitch to throw. You don't have to like curve your hand or anything. It's just you just normally throw it as hard as you can.
That makes sense. But like for me, basically every time I'm thinking off speed for a 3-2 pitch.
Yeah, I don't like the fastball in a 3-2 count because that's what everyone expects.
Yeah.
What if the bases are loaded?
Oh.
I mean, if the bases are
What if the bases are loaded? You can't walk that run in. You have to throw a strike.
Yeah, but you throw your best pitch.
Just be confident.
I'm still thinking slider.
Okay.
You gotta be confident with
I think
everything
honestly,
you throw.
like, I think I'd throw. I think I wouldn't work the outside corner. I'd go hard inside fastball and try to get him to foul it off and then throw a curveball.
I feel like I'm just giving based on the game, giving the best pitch he's thrown all game and giving that pitch. So say he's throwing the best all game, well, I'm gonna ride with that, and that's the pitch I'm gonna call.
So
yeah, I mean I go ahead.
Sorry. My philosophy, whenever there's three balls, everything, like, I could close my eyes. Like, I'll be like Anthony in his eyes closed pens, but I just go like, well, it's up to God, or like whatever, and I just chuck it kind of. Like, I just trust it. I mean, that's how I should throw everything.
Yeah.
But definitely in 3-2 count, I'm like, if I walk him, I walk him. I'm gonna chuck this. It's basically it.
Yeah, no, and that's awesome. I also think also the context of how you got to, let's say, 3-2 bases loaded, right? Is it hit batter, walk, or is it, and you're struggling to either command the ball or there's other factors on the line, or they're like, was it like an infield hit, maybe like a 9-pitch walk, strikeout, line out, infield hit again, and now you're 3-2. So like, are you struggling to just command the ball, or are you?
Like if you have, you finish.
No, I mean, it's just like most people's fastball is the pitch they command the best.
Yeah.
Right. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's a pitch you should throw 3-2.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like if you have bases loaded and it's a 3-2 count, then obviously your fastball, either you're not hitting your spots, or you're just throwing balls and you can't command it as well. So I don't think you should keep on throwing that if it's not working.
Yeah.
I think 3-2, chuck the ball. I don't care what pitch it is.
I mean, you throw like 70, so.
I mean, yeah. Even if you do throw 70, like, if the kid's going to hit it, like, if he's supposed to hit it, then he's going to hit it. You just got to hope that someone's there.
Yeah, that's
but the only thing you don't want to think is, there's a possibility I walk him.
You can't have doubt. You throw everything with confidence, and what happens. You don't control what the batter does. Like, you can't be like, if the batter's good, he's good. If he sucks, he sucks. Like, control what you can control, and that's it. Just compete, challenge him.
Compete Academy.
Gav, what are you eating?
I had strawberries, grilled chicken, and a bunch of brown rice, and a little bit of risotto.
I was gonna say you need steak knife for strawberries.
No, this was for my. I actually did use it on the strawberries.
It cuts.
I had steak
nice
for lunch
smooth.
though. Sirloin.
Not your Kraft mac and cheese?
Nah, bro. I ate it all.
All right. Are there any other things you guys want to go over? We had.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, go.
Pitch, like, pitch like tendencies? Like, what's your favorite? What's your favorite like cameo or whatever it's called?
Huh?
What's your favorite like pitch combination for the catchers? Kind of like what is? Obviously, it differs, but what's your favorite way to set up a hitter?
Fastball changeup.
Fastball changeup.
Because
I like working backwards. I don't know. That's like my thing.
I'm saying like I'm saying for me, a fastball changeup combo, if it's good, is the hardest thing to hit because I can't see that spin on a changeup. A curveball, you can see that spin right away, but with a changeup, it looks so similar to a fastball. I think that's like your best like combo if it's good.
Yeah, if you can tunnel pitches and you got two pitches that break completely two different ways, like that's like the thing where like I would go with those two pitches because as a hitter, when you see anything like above like 80, 85 maybe, if you got two things tunneled and they're staying straight and at the last second they break opposite ways, you don't even know what to think. Like you kind of just swing and hope your bat runs into the ball at that point.
So are you saying it doesn't even matter the quality of the break, but as long as you can tunnle it well, something will work out?
If you tunnel it and if you're not tipping stuff off like that, if you don't like, dude, hitting's so hard. Like you have no clue. Like hitting.
Yeah, I do. That's why I don't do it anymore.
Yeah, dude, hitting's hard. If you're able to tunnel pitches, it's something else.
Especially if your changeup and your fastball run, and so your changeup or your fastball goes normal straight, and then your changeup dives at the last second, like that's filthy. Especially if you run it outside corner, it's filthy.
Yeah, like I don't care if you throw 40 miles per hour. Like if you're able to tunnel those and they change last second, dude. The hitting is like you make your decision like before the ball's even halfway there. Yeah. So if you're able to tunnel it to the point where those balls are changing direction, like 6-7 feet away from the batter, like I don't know what to do. Like that's like a panic swing. It's just like you just swing.
The Lombardi swing.
Yeah.
So tunneling obviously has been a very big topic. A lot of people have tried to do a lot of research on it. I just sent in the chat an article from Fangraphs if you guys want to read it about pitch sequencing and kind of tunneling pitches. There's interesting graphs in there talking about one pitch to another, the difference between swinging strikes on the second pitch. When it comes to the swing decision on average is right around 33 feet from home plate. It talks about the distance between in inches, those two pitches at 33 feet and at home plate. The interesting thing is they show that it's more important if they're closer together from 33 feet away than how far apart they end up at home plate, if that makes sense. Take a look at when we're done, take a look at it, read it over, see if you can get anything out of it. Kind of interesting take on tunneling there.
All right, I have a question about first pitch changeups. How do we feel about those? Yes or
Is
no?
it a strike?
Yes, it's a strike.
Then it works.
I don't
And
know.
it works.
Yeah, just throw
I don't
strikes.
see why not.
I mean,
So,
I feel like if it depends. Like if it's a
So,
strike.
so
Hold on.
Cole, I'll chime in here. I think that a big factor is like what does your changeup look like? Is it something that has a ton of run and a ton of sink and it's like way different than your fastball? Then it's probably a solid pitch to throw. If your
But if
changeup
you've never
spins,
faced the guy before though.
well, I'm talking about for you, for the pitcher. If your
Okay.
changeup spins real similar to your fastball, then maybe it's not. Then maybe it's just the BP fastball that you're rolling in there.
Yeah.
But if you're side spinning that thing really good, then it's a totally different pitch. As opposed to something if you're back spinning your changeup too much, now you're just throwing a slow fastball.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking more like my changeup isn't great, but it's not terrible. And so I was saying like it's kind of like a slow pitch fastball, but it's not totally. It's still some movement. And so, like, I'm always scared, like, oh, if it's the first pitch, then he could possibly tank it.
Yeah, but you've never faced it, and you're throwing that first pitch change up, and you never faced him. His timing isn't going to be geared up for like it's not going to be ready for your fastball because the first pitch he's going to see is your changeup. So
yeah, that's what I was.
if he swings and misses, that's great because then you're going to go your fastball. But if he's never seen your fastball before and you throw a changeup, he might hit that pretty far. Like, but it all depends. Like what George said, if it runs a lot, yeah, then I'd throw it. But I don't know.
That was a good question.
Yeah. A lot of it is based on how your fastball moves and what your fastball does.
Yeah.
That's sort of the ground floor for everything else is what's your fastball like, because that's going to be your primary pitch. But yeah, that's a good point.
Another question I had for you guys was, how do you guys feel about doubling down or even tripling down on pitches consecutively?
I'm fine with it.
I would 100%.
Yeah, they're not going back to that.
Doubling down, yeah. Tripling down, probably not.
Why?
It depends who it is.
I'll do it.
Say you throw 3 curveballs in a row for strikes. First one he swings at, second one he doesn't. Are you throwing it again?
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, that's a good point. I guess 3.
He's not sitting.
No one expects 3 curveballs in a row.
I don't care if he swings at all 3 or doesn't swing at any of them.
You know, some kids, they get like flustered when they see 2 first pitch curveballs. They're kind of like, "Are you gonna give me a fastball?" You know?
And then they sit on the fastball, and then they have to react. Like, why would you react if you pretty much know what's coming?
Yeah.
What if you go 2-0 on 2 curveballs? Would you ever go back to a third one?
2-0.
Probably not.
You go bounce one, and you miss another one by maybe 6 inches.
So that's all adjustment. If you just come back to him and you throw a strike, that shows that you have confidence in that pitch. And then that opens up a whole another array of opportunities for what you want to throw. So, yeah, I definitely do it.
I mean,
array.
You can do that.
Good word.
Also throw 2 curveballs and you miss, and then he's like, oh, he's not going back. Throw a fastball, sneak it in for a strike, and then go back to the curveball. Like, there's so many different things you could do with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like if you
think about the hitter's mindset.
Yeah, like, because every hitter is going to go in there, fastball adjust. If not, they're screwed. But you have to adjust to that pitch. So if you're looking fastball, it's obviously everyone's favorite pitch because everyone's looking for it, and they don't have to adjust. But if you're sitting curveball and you get a fastball, you're not going to hit it. You know what I mean?
To the 2-0 question.
Especially if a guy has, like, nasty off speed.
Yeah.
Cole?
All right, back to the 2-0 curveball question. But if you miss that 3-0, I feel like, no, if you miss that curveball and you throw it again and it goes 3-0, I feel like you're kind of cucked for that batter, but then you're also cucked for the next batter because you don't have as much confidence in your curveball, and it could afflict your mindset for the rest of, like, the inning.
Well,
that's just a weak mindset, honestly.
You got to be confident the whole time.
All right.
So there's a there is a difference between being confident and adjusting to things on the fly. I think that's also something important where, I'm sure anyone who's pitched has been in the bullpen pregame and like, damn, this pitch isn't working today. Or even in your 8 warm-ups, why did I just throw, 2 sliders and miss 3 feet arm side? So a confidence thing, like, you have to be confident in what you're doing, but also, like, be willing to adjust. And how do you factor that in? You don't want to be pig-headed and throw, 6 straight curveballs in the dirt, or maybe you do.
Yeah, maybe that's your thing.
Right? Maybe you want to go 0 for 13 or 0 for 20 shooting, as opposed to, because that means you just have the confidence to keep going.
Shooter's going to shoot.
And then you don't play the next week. But you did shoot.
Yeah.
Confidence on the mound is just something that's completely misunderstood, but there's so many different ways to show it. Like some people think confidence is screaming at the other dugout or like jumping off the mound, but other than that,
it could be posture, just your posture on the mound. Like
like literally the way you stand on the mound.
And especially after you throw a pitch and miss, say you didn't get that call that the umpire gave you, and then you're like catching it and going like this, or like you're catching it like talking to your glove, being all pissed off. Like that's what
Gavin.
I did that one time. Bullpens don't count.
Right away. And the next
Bullpens don't count.
This summer in my tight pants, you guys will see.
Oh, okay, man.
Me and my tight pants.
I'm not hopping on that, by the way. I'm staying away.
No, it's cool. You pull off that style, Jack. I like it on you.
I don't know if I could squat down in those pants, bro. I might rip them.
I don't know, dude. You squat down and your butt hits the ground. You're slow. I mean, you're short.
I'm short. I'm nearing 5'10" right now.
That is so far. Your PG profile definitely says 6 foot.
It says 5'9" right now. It's more like 5'11".
Oh my god, that is like 3 inches off.
My PVR says 5'9" too. Everything says 5'9".
Your PVR might as well say 6'2".
How tall?
Yeah.
He's like 5'4".
5'7". 5'4". Oh, that's fake.
Jeez, Gav.
A little.
Damn, bro. That's a little.
5'4".
It's crossing the line.
Yeah, he's undersized.
Yeah. Yeah. They said that in the podcast. I'm undersized. That's okay. I'm undersized.
Yeah, but he gave you a compliment on the back end.
I know. I'll take it.
Yo, your player's weekend name has to be Munchkin.
Meh? Munchkin?
Yeah.
Wow. Interesting.
Right.
Munchkin.
Continue with the pitch talk.
Yeah. Another question for you. How many coaches are letting you guys call games? I know it's pretty common to see coaches call games.
My high school coach does not let me call the game, but will.
Yeah.
My high school coach doesn't either, but Nick lets me call the game.
Yeah, well, my high school coach lets me because he trusts me. But like in middle school, I wasn't allowed to. But like my coach was like so dumb. Like I would call my own game and he wouldn't even know. Like he'd be sitting in the dugout and he'd be like, "Yo," he'd be like, "Great job, man." And I was calling curveballs and stuff, and he was like calling fastballs up. And we were like striking them out, and he was like, "Oh yeah, great job." I was like, "Okay."
Is that Jack?
Yeah.
Like aren't in that same situation. Like they're observing the game, but they're not in the game. Like they're not doing the same things you are as you're pitching or as you're catching.
Yeah, they can't see through your eyes. Like they don't know how that pitch worked against that hitter. They don't know how that hitter reacted to the pitch.
Yeah.
Then, any other questions, guys? Any other things you want to discuss? No, pretty good. I think a solid hour.
Yeah.
Definitely do this again soon. Any further requests for future videos or future topics, let me or Matt know, and we'll set it up. All right, guys.
All right.
Thanks, George. Thanks,
Thank
Matt.
Yeah, George.
Yep.
See you.
Thank
you, guys.
See you guys.
Yep.
Peace.